Hey everyone, it is Dana and I'm super excited to come play with you today. We're going to make these two adorable cards and we're going to do very little stamping. Usually when you think of making cards, you think of, pretty papers and stamping and all the things we normally associate. And today I want to show you a couple of easy ways to take some of our new thin cut dies and combine those shapes and have fun and come up with some really fun cards. Did you see this one yet? Ah! It's using the thin cut and made a shaker. I absolutely love this one. Okay, you ready? Let's start with our supply list of our first one. Standard size card, 5.5 by 4.25. We're going to use the hexagon, stitched hexagons. You guys always ask me the numbers, Z3678. And I used for reference the second to smallest one, maybe about an inch in size. Then we used, let me see, I'm not sure of the name, Every Bit of Wonderful, D1977. And this set is our Operation Smile set. So $7 from the sale of this set every time goes to Operation Smile. And it's super, super cute. It's got some really fun sentiments. You make my heart happy, grateful to call you friend. And that's the one we're going to use today. And then we're going to use just a tiny bit of this phenomenal stamp of the month. This is called Doodled Borders, and boy, does it have all of the borders. Honestly, this set is borders and texture is kind of what I think of. It's every line that you don't like. And let me rephrase that. It's every line that you don't like to hand draw. That's what I think of when I look at this. I go, holy crap, it makes all the things that I can't get it straight. Right? It adds the dots for textures and dashes and bows and tiny dots and loops. I mean, just lots and lots of fun texture in this set. So we are going to use those and all these cute little hexagons. Now, just for time's sake, I have pre-cut them. Okay, and I've even put foam tape, a little tiny piece on the back of them, because that's what creates this texture. Can you see just that foam tape and those hexagons? Doesn't that make a really fun pattern? We've got our flower die cut. That is, I've taken mine and put it in a hard envelope. So let me pull the sheet out so you can see what it is. It's Z3691 3D flower. And it's a giant flower. I love it because you don't have to use the whole thing. You can just use parts of it. And I did use actually I think I took the white one off. So just the smallest one in 3 different colors. And then I just pulled colors from our Happiness Lives Here paper collection. I didn't even necessarily use all the happiness papers. I just used those colors, if that makes sense. So this is Smoothie. And we've got a little bit of leftover happiness paper, Bluebell, just a lot of really pretty spring colors. We're wishing that it's spring. We're not quite there yet, but let me think. We've got our silver thread. We've got white and black dots just for the center of the flower. And we've got black ink. Now you can use whatever black ink you have. I tend to gravitate toward the intense black. It's one of my absolute favorites just because it doesn't smear. You can color with your water brush or your shimmer brush and it doesn't make a mess on you. So let me grab just a little. I always try to be prepared, but I never am. I never am. Such is life, right? Okay, so intense black. We're going to take our regular white card. Let me set this out of the way a little bit. And what we're going to do, I've already loaded the block with the little teeny tiny line stamp. Let me show you. Right here, the little dashes. Of course, you could use any of these. And I'm going to be really careful not to get ink on the block. Okay, I'm just going to do it really lightly. And I'm going to come up at this corner. And I'm going to stamp our edges. And then I'm going to turn it away from me. I work best close to me. I'm not going to be good at doing it. I'm actually better closer to the camera. But it's pretty easy because you can see right through it. Actually, I will tell you this. I tend to put my finger down on the table to kind of brace it. Okay, and then one more down this corner. And we're good. We are good. I'm gonna clean it off and we're done. And then we've got this corner up here that is our little sentiment. Let me grab a mat. You always want to remember to put your sponge underneath what you're, whoa, we've got some static here. Well, that's not surprising. It is winter in Michigan. I'm going to take this just to hold that stamp set down a little bit because the static is, electricity is lifting it right up off the mat. So I've got our Grateful to Call You Friend, and I'm going to ink it up. Sorry, I know it shakes the camera. I apologize. Right, and this one is going to ink up on the block because I'm pressing pretty hard. So I'm just going to clean that off so it doesn't make a mess. And then I'm going to put that right up in the corner. This is such a cute little card, and it's so simple. I absolutely love it. I love that I don't have to think about the stamping either. It just comes out well because the stamps are so easy to use. Okay, I think I can move this now, even though it's kind of popping up on me a little bit. Maybe I will leave it there just to kind of hold it down. Okay, then what you want to do is take all of the hexagons that you want in the middle of the paper. You can go ahead and put a foam square on. It's the regular foam square. And what I did, forgive me, it's a little unorthodox, but I'm gonna cut a little piece of foam. Okay. And then, actually, I'm going to have to move this. And I can move this out of the way and figure out which one I want to be on the edge over here. Okay? And I'm going to put a little piece of foam tape there. It's easier, I found. So let me figure out kind of where I want the foam tape. But it's easier to do the edges on the card itself and then stick them on. Because trying to line up the foam tape with the, with the edge of that is more challenging than you would expect. So, sorry, let me try to get it on camera. And I'm going to line up point to point on the card first. Okay, so your first one is going to line up corner to corner, and that way you'll know it's straight. Okay, then my next one is going to be the pink one. And then these will line up pretty easily because all you're matching up is this point and this point. I'm going to leave a tiny bit of light white space in between. Okay, and then I've got my smoothie. Again, you're just matching these edges right here. And I've got my green. Now the green, I stamped just a teeny bit with those leaves, just to give it a little bit of depth. Oh, I already took that off of there. Just to give it a little tiny bit of texture. Now I'm going to wait on this just for a minute. I know that I want it to be a purple, so I'm going to leave that there. Then I've got, let's see, another flowered one. I'm just going to kind of fill in. Let's see, let's put the smoothie by the smoothie. There we go. And let's put the yellow. We don't have a yellow yet. Let's put a yellow here. And then let's see, a purple. And then, what do we have left? A green. Let's see. Whoops, that way maybe. Okay, now we've just got all these little pieces. We've got spots to put them. So again, it's easier if you work with your foam tape and put it right on the edge of the card there. So now I can take this one, after I peel it off, and I can line it up, get it right where I want it. Okay, And the same thing down here. We don't want to leave those corners out. And I have pieces left. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a whole one just so you can see. I could use, and you can too, your cut pieces from, if you're doing more than one card, you absolutely can fit those on. But actually, you know what? I will. You guys are good. So I'm going to figure out where I want these. I think I want a yellow maybe there, or maybe I want a, maybe I want a white one, and maybe a yellow. Let's see, what else? What else do I have here? A purple. No, maybe I probably need a whole pink there in that spot. There we go. Whole one. And then a little smoothie. Remember to keep the lines as if the pattern was moving off the page. Okay, so we're just going to take a little foam tape again, and we're going to put it at that edge so we know it's held securely. Peel it off, and then we're going to stick it on. That way when you cut it, it'll be stuck well. You don't have to worry about it having a hard time. Okay, actually let me just do all of those. Is probably, actually, where's my thinner? Let's get just a little smaller piece. Okay, one here and one here at that corner. Okay, and then peel it off. It really helps with that placement. And let's do our pink and our coral. Okay, now the easiest thing I found, I have a big set of Fiskars, so I'm just going to use those because I know it's going to cut a straight line, is to flip the card over, and you can open it or leave it closed. It doesn't really matter. And line the edge of your scissors up with the edge of the card and just cut. Isn't that cool? Like, it just looks so neat when you're done. Look at how fun that is. Oh. Okay, I want to do this one corner because we don't want to leave it out. Oh, what color did I miss getting? Let's see. Yellow, I've got 2 greens, I've got 2 purples. It looks like the coral, maybe. Maybe that one. Yeah, that'll work. Let's do a little bit of foam tape. Our little piece, and I think my coral went flying. Okay. Again, I stamped all of these the tiniest little bit, either with the flower. Oh, you know what? I got that in a little too far over. Whoops, now my thumb's in the way. Forgive me. I'm sure you can see with my thumb in the way. Okay. Ta-da! I absolutely am in love with this idea. I absolutely am. I think it's so brilliant. So what I did was, I think we had maybe 5 colors: smoothie, the green, the bluebell, the canary, the white flower, and the pink. 6 colors maybe. And I did 2 of each. Just so you know, when you're setting it up, you have leftovers, and you actually could do more, but that's how I started. So then I die cut these flowers with the die cut, and you can see how flat they are. So let's bring some life to these, shall we? First of all, we're going to start with any of the layers, and you're going to take it up at the top, and you're going to curl it under, and you're just going to, almost like you're rolling it over your finger. You're just kind of bending it and go all the way around, work your way around. They actually do it really easily. Then you lay it in your palm, take your pokey tool, or you could take the end of a marker if it's round. But can you see how that instantly curls up? It's absolutely brilliant. Now, if you want to stamp on your flower, your flowers, you can. I did not, but you're more than welcome to. Okay, let's put it in my hand, curl it up, and then our top one is a little bit of pattern paper. This is from the mix-in pack. So you start out flat, and then you just go in a circle, and it curls right up. It's just the coolest idea. I learned that once at an expo. I think it actually was the stamping expo that we used to have here in Michigan. You know, when you walk by a booth and you see all the things. And one of the days I was walking, and it was a man, and he was teaching this, and I thought, that's brilliant. Of course, we don't have the tools or anything, but I found that you really don't need all the tools. It works just fine without it. So, okay, I'm going to put the light pink on the bottom. You can do whatever, and I'm just going to offset, you know, just a little offset in the middle. Not completely. I don't want them on top of each other. And then this one, again, is just a little more turned. And there we go. Okay, you can bend them up, scrunch them up a little more if you want to. And then we're just going to we're going to tie in a little bit of that black stamping with a black dot. And we have a nice big flat center, which I love. Sorry, get on there. There we go. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to do is add some of the silver thread. And the easiest way I found to do this is unroll it quite a bit and then go back to the front, and you're going to wind it around maybe 3 or 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe up. Grab it with your fingers. You can play with it in a minute. Don't play with it quite yet. Get yourself a regular size glue dot and stick it on the roll. Okay, I hope you can see that in the camera. Stick it in the roll it off, and then look, roll it between your fingers just a little bit. Can you see it roll around? And at this point, you can play with it. You can shape it a little bit. You can move them around. But in truth, a lot of this thread is meant to be just kind of messy. Right? It's a messy bun, if you will. How's that? So we're going to leave it a little messy because it's a messy bun. And we're going to balance the black over here with a little black down in this corner. And our thread. Isn't that super, super cute? I absolutely love him. Then after you get him on there, you can arrange him and kind of fluff him a little like a messy bun, honestly, right? Just like a messy bun. Okay. Let's move on to card number 2. Now for this one, we are using the new Slimline card die. It does a whole card front. It's awesome. So much fun to add texture. And we're using the, oh, I'm sorry. You guys always ask me for the numbers and I forget. Z3908. It's diagonal stripe Slimline. And this one is the Thanks Thin Cut Z3684. It has the outline and the mat behind it. And then for this border, I went to Lovely Borders Z3763. And I didn't use the stamps, I just used the die cut. Remember to think of that. I forget, quite honestly, I forget to look at the die cuts that come with, if that makes sense. I tend to just go, oh, it's a stamp set. Right? So I would encourage you to do the same. Don't forget, this is what it looks like when it's all put together. So this is the outline with the back. And I used, believe it or not, I used a regular duck, or you can use the Close to My Heart. Either one, because they have the little crisscross, I don't know if you can see that on camera, they will pick up off these little tiny, honest to goodness, that's exactly what I used. I didn't use, you can use the glue. We do offer 2 liquid glues. The Tombow Multi and the Tombow Aqua. And they both have pen tips. Big, I don't know, I don't show these often. Little teeny tiny tip on one end. And then the other end has a kind of a rubber squirty end. So either one would work, honestly. I don't use them often. I just love a good tape runner. So I tend to go in that direction, but we do have those and people swear by them. But this is what the thanks look like. It's just darling, don't you think? It's super, super cute. I love that it's kind of got a scrolly look. Some black shimmer trim on black cardstock because I just felt like it needed a little something. And then this is what the die cuts out to look like. Super sweet, and I love the stitched edge. I've got a little piece of acetate, the same size as the card, okay? And I'm just gonna wipe it a little bit. You know, again, it's the static and the dry air of winter that'll kind of get the best of you. Okay, so we're gonna take our die again with the duck, and I'm gonna go around the edges. Now, Tombow tape runner, or any tape runner really, and your all-purpose mat are brilliant because it won't stick to the all-purpose mat. And you can do this and just be fearless. That's what I used to say. I used to be so careful, right? Oh, you can't get glue on it because it'll stick to everything. And the answer is you can, because A, it's gonna pick right up, and B, it won't stick to this either. So you get lots of choices. I'm just gonna kind of get a little on those skinny ones because I don't want them to rip. I don't think they would, but you know me, probably. Okay, so I picked it up. You see that? Make sure nothing's sticky. And look, it really just sticks to where the little lines are. So, okay, we're gonna take, I know this is really difficult on camera. I'm gonna take my clear acetate and I'm gonna line it up, hopefully line it up with the edges. And instead of using my fingers, I'm just going to use the cloth I used to do my glasses with, because that way I'm kind of cleaning it at the same time as pushing the adhesive down. Right? It's kind of killing two birds with one stone. Anyway, that's how I think anyway. Okay. Now we've got our clear acetate and we've got our slimline window. We're going to do regular foam tape border because we're going to make our shaker. So we're going to run it right along the edge. Look at that. It's like I know what I'm doing sometimes. Now, the best way I found to do this border is to go around the clock. Go around in one direction. Don't do both. I used to do the two long ends and then do the short ends, and I found that it's much harder to line up the foam tape. But if you just go around the circle, around the shape, it works brilliantly. You don't have to do that. You only have to do it once at the end. So, love this. Okay, got one more side. Boy, I might have to get another roll. I go through so much foam tape. It's like a thing. It's a thing I have. Do you believe that? It's actually a thing. Okay, now I'm not going to, on this one, I divided this up 3 or 4 times and it makes it really hard for the sequins. So I'm gonna put foam tape here. I just want to give it, the card itself, a little support, but I think on the last one I gave it a little too much support. It really was. I didn't need to do that. It really is fine without it. So I'm going to do one here and here. I know it's hard to see, so I'm just going to tell you and then you will know. Okay, so here's our 2 white, right? And then all we need to do is put the sequins in. And this time I'm going to use all white. You really could use, these cute little hearts, but I really want the shine. So I'm going to leave them white this time, but you can choose, truly. Let me get my bone folder out just for a second and crease these edges a little bit. It's kind of poking up. Because I'm weird. I like to put the sequins, I like to be able to see what I'm doing. So I like to put the sequins on the card. I know that's weird. You do not have to do it this way. You can put them in the holes and do it that way. You really can. There's no faux pas by doing it that way, honest. The only key to any of this is just keeping it away from the edges. That's truly all it is. might need some more sequins too. Crazy, right? They give us enough sequins in these jars to seemingly last for 20 million cards. And look at me, I'm almost out. Okay, now all I have are 3 sections. So I'm just gonna kind of try to brush it and keep the static at a minimum. This is my static pouch. I'm just gonna gently try to keep it all from jumping up as I, right? Okay, then we've got our top. Look at us go. Okay, I think I got it. It looks shiny to me. Now I'm just gonna move this down to the bottom and I'm gonna try to line up those edges. Oh, there go the sequins jumping. I think we're still okay. There we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that fun? I love it. I love that you can make a shaker with this. It's so much fun. It makes it visually so cute, right? So, so cute. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our black piece and we're gonna attach, and it's gonna sound weird, but we're gonna attach the pink border to it first. So we're gonna put our adhesive on it. And I'm gonna use a lot because I wanna make sure that it lays down on that uneven surface. And then what I'm gonna do is just line this up, right? Okay. And then line this one. Now that I have one on there, I can easily, right, do the rest. And then I can cut that off. Right? Dun, da, da, da. We're going to put this open end. There we go. We've got our shimmer trim, our black, and our pink. And then we've got our flower. And where did our thanks go? Oh, he's hiding inside that one. There he is. Okay, so now I'm just going to line it up where I think I want it. And I'm going to stick, we're going to do our flowers. We're going to roll the edges just like the other one. Place it in my palm, rub it in a circle. Now you could do these the other way too if you wanted it to be more curled up than curled down. But I find this kind of makes it have a little life, right? But you could do it the other way as well. You really could. It's really up to you. Once they kind of start curling up, I just think they look a little more realistic. Okay, let's get some foam tape out. 1, 2, 3. And let's do 1. Some of these now are double-sided, and you can choose whatever side you want. I tended to, this time in particular, I stayed away from the white side because I was just afraid it would compete with all of the white here. And then I've got our pink. Just because I thought the pink might bring out the pink over here. And then this time, we're gonna go with a white dot. I love those dots. I find so many uses for them. I'm sure you guys do too. Okay. Right, I'm just gonna shape him just a little. Just give him a little zhuzh, right? And I think I put my adhesive on the back, a little foam tape. Foam tape holds really nicely, especially on surfaces like the shimmer trim or glitter paper. Okay, but I'm gonna press him down hard and just make sure he gets a good contact. And then we've just got our, now this one I did painstakingly cut the shimmer trim for the back, and I didn't want to do it in front of you. It would bore you to tears watching me cut and stick shimmer trim on. But this is the regular thickness. I wanted it to be a little bit, to have some height. So this one is the tall one of the two of them. Right, all the little pieces. All I really do is just cut it down the middle with my nonstick scissors, because that's really the only pair you can do. Otherwise it sticks to your scissors and it'll make you crazy. Okay, cut it down the middle and make skinnier pieces for the places it doesn't fit. Okay, dun, da, da, da. Isn't this a fun little card that we didn't even have to do? Like, we didn't stamp, we just assembled. It's amazing to me that that die makes such a difference, right? It adds so much interest. And of course, it's even way more fun because we did a shaker with it. But truly, I'm always amazed that just the shape, right? Just a shape in the back of your card in the background makes such a big difference. So here are all the fun that we created. Yay! I hope you had a great time. Until next time, bye.